sure YouTube comes up here. Some of the stuff has been having a stroke lately. Alright, everything's up and running. Looks like we are good to go. Fully online. Just move some things around here. Alright. I did a lot of prep work to try and just get ready for today's stream. We're just going to kind of be looking around at working on some projects. I am SSH'd into my newly built NixOS gaming rig here, and we got games and stuff like that installed on it, but I'd like to be able to access it remotely. Windows makes that stupidly easy. Yes, I know I'm on a Windows machine right now. It's the one that's got the beefier stuff, so I can do the stream. But in the meantime, we're just gonna have some fun, do a little research, play with some AI, see what kind of slop it gives us, see if it works, and go from there. So let's go in here. So this is currently the setup I have for my NixOS setup. So it's not ridiculously modular. It's more modular than what it was. I used to only have a flake.nix and a configuration.nix file. We split some of that out to a few things. And an interesting note, you'll see this hub apps thing here. This is tracked in GitHub and all that good stuff, as you can see through my output here. Cool thing. Well, not a cool thing. Kind of a pain in the butt, actually. If you want your sidebar icons to work, and if you want Copilot to work in Microsoft Edge, like the Copilot chat that's built into Microsoft Edge, you must have an exported hub apps file and put that into the correct location, so that way it will sync that between your browsers. It doesn't automatically sync in Linux. For some odd reason it's broken. With one of the updates it was working and then it stopped working, and I learned that you have to export this hub app, so that's why that's here. This home.nix file, let's take a look and see what's going on with that. I think I edited a file and I didn't save it properly. Let me just double check the actual physical device. I have that device over here. The only reason I'm not using it, it's got beefy components. I don't have all the streaming stuff set up. The monitor layout's not ideal. So this setup, the physical setup, needs a lot of work yet. So we're just going to remote into it, call life good that way. But let me check my editor here. What did I do? Why do I have this? I don't think I need that anymore. No, I do not. So we should be able to trash that. And now if we do that again. Okay, good, that's gone. So we got that set up there, and looks like we've got plenty of room to work. So one of the things I'm trying to do is I like to be able to access my machines remotely, no matter where I'm at. I travel, do all kinds of stuff, and I want to be able to access my machines remotely. Now, there's tons of remote access software out there, like stupid amounts, right? There's so many things that can be done. You've got free tiers of proprietary software like TeamViewer and Splashtop and AnyDesk and stuff like that. Then you have self-hosted stuff like RustDesk, Guacamole, and there's some others which I'll look into that later. That's why I have this general search tab open. There's another one I think it's called Mesh Central. Let me just double check on that. Actually, I want to duplicate this tab because, yeah, duplicate tab. What we got here? Mesh Commander, yeah. So this I would love to utilize this, but there's a lot to set up, both on the local and there's a lot. So you can see you can have all your hosts and everything here, which is great. You can set up users, permissions, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this has a, like, I feel like it's got a larger setup than necessary. I mean, yeah, I got my trusty Homelab here. Where did that tab go? Oops. All right. That's weird. That's not where it's supposed to go. I'll put that up here. I don't know why that. Get rid of that tab. So I got my Homelab here. You know, just my Unraid server. I'm looking to replace this with something else. But for now, this is just kind of the way that I got it. I just did an update on this yesterday. I'm running 7.2.2, and I got the Pro lifetime, all that good stuff, and it's on decent hardware. It's not fantastic. Yeah, there's only 32 gigs of RAM in here, unfortunately. Yeah, I could put up to 128, but nobody's buying RAM right now. Absolutely not. If you have money for RAM, I'll tip my hat to you. That's not. That's a little too rich for my blood right now. So no RAM for me. But anyways, so we'll come back and play with this maybe a little later. But for now, I would love to get, because I've used it for years on any other Linux distribution, Arch-based, Debian-based, you know, Ubuntu, all of those things. Chrome Remote Desktop. I like it. It works on any Chromium-based browser. You know, you can install the client, so to speak, as like a PWA, so it's in its own window, and then when you launch the remote session, it is the full window. You can hit F11, and now it's full screen. You can set your resolution. It can do AV1 decoding if your network and your GPU supports it, all that good stuff. So I really like the simplicity of Chrome Remote Desktop. The issue is NixOS is an entirely different animal when it comes to setting things up. And we'll take a look at that and show you what I mean. So let's go into my configuration file here. So as you can see, everything that I want, almost everything, because I split stuff out, right? I made this very modular. There's more modularity to come, but everything that I want to have happen has to be programmatically done in a configuration file, and that's a pain, yes, but it's also allows for reproducibility. So, you know, we can take a look at my GitHub, and I can go in here. All right. Oh, apparently I'm not signed in, but that's fine. You get to see the public view. And we can go into my repositories here. So we'll go into here, and we'll go to the PC that I'm on, which is this guy. And all I have to do is pull this down, run a command on my configurations, all of my apps, everything done. So I install a base install of NixOS. I use Nix Shell to install some basic packages. I do Git and curl just to make sure that it's all, I can pull everything down and whatnot. I run my update command. I change now. The one thing I do have to change is in this variables, right? So I got to change like my username, my time zone, and home directory to make sure that that matches my base install. After I do that, I run the update command. It installs all my software, and I am on the ground running. It has enabled me to set up laptops and PCs in a usable state within probably an hour or less, depending upon the speed of the laptop. Whereas it used to take me days on other distributions. It didn't matter if it was Arch or Ubuntu, and I could have probably scripted that with Bash or something like that. I didn't want to do it that way though. There was lots of room for error, breakages, things like that. When I learned about how the nuts and bolts of NixOS worked, the Nix package manager, all that good stuff, I knew that this was for me. So this is what I've been going with, and so far I love it. Have there been times I've wanted to pull my hair out? Absolutely. And, it's starting to thin a little bit, probably because of that. But otherwise, I absolutely love this. So everything in here that I want to have do, or that I want configured, is in this configuration file. Now, there's other configuration files that I have split out. For example, packages, right? I created two different package files, system packages and user packages. There's a system.nix and there is a user.nix. The user.nix is for user-based packages. So if I set this up as multi-user, I can, have a different user login, and they get a completely separate set of packages than what I would install, and so on and so forth. So I'm not that advanced yet. This is still very much a learning thing for me. So so just to give you an idea, this is what it is. So if we go into the packages directory, you can see I've got my development packages. So, and I have them categorized a little bit. So now not everything is active in here, but you can see I got, I'm using Nix Vim as my NeoVim setup. I love it. I spend most of my time editing Nix files anyways. If I need something else, I've got other editors installed. As you can see, I got VS Code, Zeditor, Helix if I need it, all that good stuff. So, and then for all my version control, playing with some different version control stuff, Git Kraken is usually my go-to. It's just very visual. I like how it represents things. It's fairly easy to use. I know some of the Git command line stuff by heart, but I don't have secrets management set up yet. So being able to authenticate to GitHub using my terminal, I just haven't gotten that set up yet. So we're not ready for that yet. I don't have any virtualization stuff set up on this desktop as of yet. Again, two limiting factors. One, storage space. I got an OS drive that's 240 gigs and a storage drive of 1 terabyte. Not enough for VMs, at least not for me anyways. Two, not enough RAM. There's only 16 gigs of RAM in this box. Ain't gonna help me. Now the box that I'm streaming on is a beast. 64 gigs, love it. But this particular box is just not there yet. I want to get it there. I just can't afford RAM right now. So, all right. So we'll get out of this. And so I've got, the configuration. I got the development. I got my system packages, virtualization. So realistically, I could, you know, my system packages, I could set up an import. So this is from inputs, not an import. I might need to set up. And you see, I have this all commented out here because I pulled them all over to the other file just to split out the development stuff, because I might set up, you know, some shells for Python and stuff like that, because I do intend to learn those at some point. So let's take a look here. So there's a lot of different people who have implemented their, or have done their own implementation of Chrome Remote Desktop. There's a couple of different ways that I thought about doing this. Now, one thing that was concerning to me is that I've started reading this GitHub repository. It says for X11 only, which, okay, that's fine. My desktop environment is KDE Plasma, so I don't have to worry about that so much, but it looks like coming up in the next 6 to 12 months, it looks like, there won't be any more X11 support, officially anyways. You'll have to get a different repository. There's other projects out there trying to keep X11 alive, and I understand that. There's a lot of legacy stuff out there, right? But let's see how this was set up. So it's funny because it says NixOS, but you can't run a deb file. Yeah, this just doesn't make. Trying to figure out. Hey Tom, how's it going? Yeah, if you see me with a command line open, it's trouble, all right. No, I'm trying to reverse engineer other people's work, kind of. I really want to be able to access my systems remotely. So I'm using, you know, and my operating system of choice is NixOS, and so that adds a whole. It's a set of challenges. So, oh man, I hope little man gets better soon, and I hope the rest of you all stay healthy. So, take care, my friend. Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you go to daycare, or because sometimes that's just you know, that's just a petri dish for germs. Gotta love it. That explains it. When I was a kid, I every Christmas never failed. I remember many Christmases I would be on the couch. I would have a trash can next to me, and somehow I would try to squeeze in opening presents. Yet, excellent childhood memories of Christmas, being a kid. So I know all about daycare and getting sick. Um, Interesting thing about that, though, it's probably why I'm generally overall healthier today. Though I got sick a lot as a young child, and I think it helped my immune system. So that, or I just got lucky as I grew older. I don't know. Grew out of all my childhood allergies too. So yeah, I mean, there's a first for everything, right? It's going to be a lot of firsts with that guy. So just hope for the best, and all you can do is, you know, hope for health. I don't have a drink here. I could toast to that. that's pretty good. So, um, I I have zero experience with infants and toddlers, and I'm not really I have no kids of my own, so all I can do is tip my hat to you, sir. You know, this guy makes no sense. The top Chrome Remote Desktop for NixOS. That this does not work because down here, and I know where this site goes. So if we open here, set up remote access. Yeah, it wants me to download a deb file, or you can set up via SSH, and you grab the MSI or the deb, and you can't do that in NixOS. It just does not work that way. Let me see. This will not work for Nix. I don't know how, like, if this guy even got this running, why this is documented. Yeah, and it is a mess. One solution I would love to get implemented would be this. Oops, Mesh Central. It's free, open source. I would probably host it on my Unraid server or whatever server I got floating around here. Um, Lots of stuff you can do with it. File transfers, which is great. Um, it's like TeamViewer on steroids. Device groups. You can set up users. Um, yeah, I would love to get this set up, but it's. I feel like it's a little. It's a bit much. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, because you could export similar to TeamViewer, like a quick support file. It would route through your own home network, and I know you got the bandwidth, so you would be great. My upload is capped out at about 20 megs. Um, but yeah, I mean this is great. I don't know what kind of server server you got set up. I wonder if it's in the. Let's take a look. Is it in the? Is it in the apps? I wonder. Yeah, I don't have the static IP, but I could set it up to remotely access it using my Cloudflare tunnels. So I'm not worried about static IP. I mean, it would be nice. I mean, yeah, you can do that too. I got this machine. This machine is running. Yeah. So this one, yeah. So Windows 11 Pro. Yep, 25H2, all that good stuff. But I mainly use this for gaming and streaming, just because it's a beefy. This is my beefy boy here, right? Um, Eventually, I'd like to just run Windows in a virtual environment and be full Linux. That is my goal. I understand right tool for the job, but yeah, that would be really nice. I got my T410 with the dual Xeons out there, but that's only got 16 gigs of RAM. So, but let's see here. Is Mesh? Do they have? Let's see, how do I search in here? Oh, see what they got. Might need to full screen this. Hang on. There's the search. Mesh Central. Here we go. Nope, that's not the right one. Now you're just making me jealous. I mean, so I got the R720 back here, right there, from Walrus. I just don't have it set up yet. The only thing running is the 510 right now, because that's got my 24 terabytes of storage. So yeah, what does my 510 have in it? Give me a sec. Let's go back here. It's got. What we got here? So Xeon L5640 at 2.27 gigahertz. Each CPU is what? 6 cores, 12 threads. Yeah, for a total of 24. And then I got 32 gigs of RAM in there. DDR3. So, and then so I got the 510 there, and then that's the 720, and then I have a 710 on the bottom there. The 710 I think also has 32 or 64. I forget how many gigs of RAM are in there. The 510's got 32, and then there's 100 and I think it might be 96 or 128 gigs of RAM in the 720 that Walrus gave me. So I'm anxious to get that sucker online, but yeah, I think after today's, I'm just kind of relaxing today. Finish up some stuff regarding some medical. So hopefully that once I recover from that fully, I'll be getting right back on that job hunt. So it's funny you mentioned that. So the socket on the board for my Linux desktop and my Windows desktop, I got the socket, and I looked up to see what Xeon CPUs could be used in those sockets. Could I just throw a Xeon in there? Or does the motherboard need to support that ECC memory? Because I would probably need to replace the RAM if I threw a Xeon in there. But I thought about doing that just to get a little bit more processing power out of my systems. That's true too, yeah, because I'm not running ECC, or am I, on the T410. But yeah, if I could find a Xeon that fits in the same socket as the consumer, oh yeah. Hey, buddy.
Oh, let's make life simple.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I replaced, how do I go?
Yeah, I don't have a headset configured for this guy. Not yet, anyways. I'm still unpacking boxes from when I moved back in September.
Here it was my SP3 and now my SP4.
Whoops.
Maybe it's supposed to go back on there. But I think the German battery price. So once again, less fan. Just one. No, it's gonna be true. When in doubt, you can look on YouTube. Computer.
How is my audio coming through? Is it alright, or is it really echoey?
This way.
There we go.
Hey, much gooder.
Much gooder. How's my audio coming through? Is it alright? Or does it sound really bad?
Yeah, it's alright. It's fine. So, when I did the Xeon on mine,
Mm-hmm.
I just made sure that it's compatible with the motherboard. Because a lot of times Xeon processors can do both ECC and non-ECC.
Okay.
But they can't do both at the same time.
Right, I do know that, and I learned that the hard way. It didn't break anything. It just gave me the beep code, and I looked it up, and oh yeah, whoops, I had a stick, because lots of my RAM just has, I don't think I have any in here, it's out in the garage right now, but yeah, lots of my RAM just has like the paper stickers on, and you gotta look, it doesn't have like the metal, like sometimes like in the servers, a lot of those have like the metal things on, and I know that that's the ECC RAM, but
yeah. The big thing is I know with DDR3 is motherboards are a lot more finicky.
Gotcha.
With like compatibility and not modules, but models.
Yeah. So yeah, so I've got 10600 and 12800, the two different RAM variants, both in registered and unregistered variants. So, you know, but the Windows box that I'm using for streaming right now, that's got 64 gigs of DDR5 in it. So.
Okay.
So that one, that's my beefy boy. And then this Linux box that I was working on, I just set up, it only came with 16 gigs in it. So it's got a 9th gen i7. I pulled my 3060 Ti graphics card out of another tower that I had and threw it in this guy. And I'm sitting here looking up the sockets for these. I'm like, well, if I could throw a Xeon in there, that would just really kind of push my performance up a little bit for varying tasks in each of these boxes instead of having consumer-based processors. Not that the consumer variants are bad, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I went on eBay, and what model RAM am I running? Let's go CPU-Z. And I bought the 64 gigs for like, I want to say $40 a stick, and I've got two 32 gig sticks.
Yeah, not today, buddy. Last 2.5, 3 weeks. Now you're for that 32 gigs, you're paying $300 just for that 32 gigs. It's ridiculous.
On eBay for used?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
DDR4. 32. Yeah. I'm not even looking for ECC. Yeah, hang on. 32 gigs. That one's not. There's 169. There's. Look at that. 32 gig, 4x8, $350.
Thanks, Micron. Just thanks.
Yeah. Did you see the Gamers Nexus video about that?
Yeah.
Made me so. I know some of his stuff is specifically like the way he presents things is rage bait targeted, but yeah.
But that was, I understand.
Yeah, in this case, I'm like, yeah, the state of our affairs right now is just awful. But I can't bring my.
It's as messed up as a rubber football bat.
A rubber football bat? Yeah, that'll gum up the works. That's for sure. Especially when you're trying to putt that hole in one and you get a touchdown. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So I got that from when Drill started basic training.
Oh.
That echo's still there. It's on your side.
Oh, it's on my side.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Your mic's picking up.
Here,
Holy shizzle.
you turn my fan off.
You're right. The exact same RAM that I just bought. 32 gigs of Micron DDR4 2400 for $240.
Yeah, absolutely, just disgusting. It's disrespectful.
And I know disrespectful. I mean, we give it to our friends all the time.
Right?
What's your superpower? I'm disrespectful.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't want.
uh,
I don't want.
Okay.
I could get 4x8, but I don't really want. No, I don't want 4x8. I need 2x16 because I already have 16 in there. But yeah, so here is for 150, but they want $13 for delivery. Fury.
Jeez.
Yeah. I should be able to get this RAM for, like, it's previous gen RAM. I should be able to get two 16 gig sticks for about $80 or less, honestly. I feel like.
Yeah.
For previous gen RAM. Like, if I wanted the 64 gigs of DDR5, sure, I could see me spending $200-300 on that because it's the most current generation, probably the highest demand, you know. But yeah, $200, 185. That's just a 32 gig kit. 211 for Kingston Fury. What do we got here? 97. Interesting.
Huh.
Pre-owned. 2x16. What is... Hang on. Does this tell me... Memory... No, it just tells me how much. It doesn't tell me the type. Man. If I buy this, though, my wife will kill me. Being that she's the only income right now.
And on today's episode of What Happened to Another Tech.
Yeah, right. I've already spent some money on some tech, mainly to get the 3D printers up and running because that I'm working on trying to get that to be another source of income. But yeah, I would love to purchase this. Oh, it's not a buy it now. That's why it's so cheap. It doesn't end for another 3 days. Son of a bitch.
Sounds like the build up to our bad jokes.
Fuck my life. Hang on. Buy it now. Here we go. Now I can make sure I don't get, you know. See, 169. That's the. See what it is. I don't know about that one. One G Skill for 150. That 160.
What's nice about G-Skill? Lifetime warranties.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I've had to replace G-Skill a couple times.
Oh, we talked
So,
about that,
my-
didn't we?
Yeah, my gaming computer, the RAM had 8 years of uptime.
Nice.
And I literally killed 2 sticks.
RAM is hard to kill, I feel like. Like, RAM just, like, lasts forever.
Oh yeah. That's my superpower.
But yeah, 150
Let's
bucks.
do...
Kingston Value RAM. Oh my god, I built so many PCs with this back in the day.
I've never been a big fan of Kingston.
The Fury is good. That's what's in my streaming rig I got going on right now is Kingston Fury. I mean, it's an HP Omen 45L pre-built. I was too lazy to hand build a machine this time around. but I bought it mainly for the case because I could put whatever motherboard and stuff I want inside the case. But this case is absolutely amazing. The AIO, the radiator for the AIO is outside of the case. It's in what they call a cryo chamber. So there's no hot air inside the case at all.
No, it just comes from you.
Right, me, the servers, the GPU also, but the GPU blows it out the back. The GPU fan is even running? I don't even know if the GPU fans are spinning. I don't even know if I'm putting this thing to work. Oh yeah, GPU fans are spinning. So they're working. But
that's funny.
There's so much RGB in this case. I have all of it turned off. The only thing I've not been able to turn off reliably is the RAM, using like the controller software. So I'm like, okay, I'll just let the RAM do what it does. But there should be like lights on the fans, a red light or a multicolored light where the Omen thing is, the pump for the AIO on top of the CPU. That's got RGB. And I'm like, turn it all off. But yeah, I wasn't sure if you were really fully aware about how bad the RAM situation was. It's bad.
I've seen some of it. Like, I just had to quote a computer for my wife's employer, and the computer coming from Dell was $200 more than the last time I quoted the same system.
Just for the RAM alone, I bet.
Yep.
Nothing else has gone up component-wise except for RAM. Although, I'm waiting to see if the Micron debacle doesn't raise solid-state prices because it's the same silicon.
Oh, it's gonna.
Yeah, it's just in a different. It's just
I've already
used
seen
differently.
I actually just did a SSD swap in a really old HP. In fact, I put it in the ShareTech server. And the SSD was up $15.
Gross.
Silicon power.
Yeah,
I used to buy it for like $20, and this one I bought for $44.
Yeah, since you recommended silicon power, I've been putting that in a lot of my devices. I've got.
They're simple.
Yeah.
They're great little guys.
Yeah, I had one die on me, but that was it. It was just a random fluke.
During COVID, there was a lot more manufacturing issues, but everyone was on a skeleton crew.
Right. Yeah, you got, QA probably wasn't fully staffed, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and when you mass produce anything, you're going to have failures, right? Like, where did I move that to?
Yeah.
But I got a Western Digital floating around here somewhere that it's a 1 terabyte drive. I'm trying to futz with it a little bit, but I'm pretty sure he's dead, Jim. So it is what it is. Even doesn't matter who the manufacturers. You're gonna have failures, here and there. But yeah, I'm seriously considering putting at some point, not now obviously, but at some point throwing Xeons in each of these machines.
eBay for the win.
Yeah. That's on my other laptop that's out in the living room. So you can't really see how I'm set up, but I got two 27-inch curved monitors here, which I have the webcams on for the streaming. So I got one webcam set up for the TikTok, and then I have the other webcam going to my YouTube and Twitch. So
just so you're aware, are you using the TikTok Live Studio?
I am, yes.
Okay. In OBS Streamlabs, there's a virtual webcam output that you can feed into TikTok Studio. So you can use one webcam and one audio source.
I'm not using. I don't think I'm using Streamlabs. I'm using Stream Elements. So.
Isn't that a plugin for Streamlabs?
No. Streamlabs.
Okay.
Yeah, so Streamlabs. So, do you remember a couple years ago the debacle that Streamlabs was advertising that it was calling itself Streamlabs OBS, but it was not in any way affiliated with OBS Studio?
Yep.
Yeah, so.
But even still, OBS Studio has a virtual webcam output.
That's true. I just haven't played with it. Like, I really have, like, I have a.
I would recommend it because I have a feeling what's happening is my audio output is being picked up by a second webcam.
But you're not tuned into any of my other streams.
Nope. But if you've got two streams going on with the same thing, one webcam could be picking up the Tic Tac, not the Tic Tac, the Tic Tac output.
Maybe. I mean, I also have my speakers on the desk, so there might be feedback coming from that. So
yeah, but that would solve a lot of the issues. Just so you're aware.
Okay, that's something I'll play with in the future. This was just the easiest.
That's actually what my stream does on Disorderly Dice. Is
gotcha.
I take my Streamlabs output and I pipe it directly into my TikTok.
Okay.
So.
Yeah,
but I gotta go find food.
Oh.
Because I got like 8 minutes left on my lunch break.
Oh shoot. Well, I appreciate you stopping in. It was great to get to chat with you. I appreciate it. So find food and.
Well, stay out of trouble. Don't forget to tip your waiter.
Yep. Take care, sir. And here I am again, all by myself. I should probably find food at some point as well, but I'll get that in a little bit. We went way down the rabbit hole and tangent and stuff. Not that I'm complaining. That was a fun conversation. Absolutely. Let's double check this here. So if I can install Mesh Central on my, maybe that's the route we'll go. Maybe we just say screw Chrome Remote Desktop. Mesh Central Agent. Let's actually, before we do that, we should probably check. I don't know how to work with the menu tab. Let's check here. Should go to. Let's take a look on the NixOS. See if I can get the. That's weird. There we go. Mesh Central. All right. What do we got here? Okay. Let's check the options because that will tell me if there's services, settings. Oh. Is this for hosting though? I don't know if this is for hosting or if this is for. Yeah, I don't know if this is for hosting or this is for the client. Let me just install just basic install the package. So let's throw it into my system packages. Where's my remote stuff? Here it is down here. So we'll rebuild that and we'll go from there and see. We'll see if that works. But let's go back up to the Homelab here. We'll go search. Alright, so Okay, so let's go ahead and install it. This will be interesting. I don't know if I'll have to port this. Okay, so that's tail scale. Yeah, I'm not sure. Web file path. Oh, there's a lot of. Oh wow, there's a lot of configuration here. Should probably check out a setup video. Um, oh, cool. Okay, so they got a guide here. Yep, we'll open that external link. Oh, I got 404. All right. Actually, let's see if we can just open it in a new tab. Oh. Oh. Rip. All right. Well, that's not there. Let's see if there's a. I don't really want to eat that tab yet because I'm not all in on that. We'll duplicate this guy. Yeah, I have my default search engine in Zen browser set to Perplexity, so yeah. All right. All right. I know you guys won't be able to see. Oh wait. Yeah, but I do want to check and see. Okay, how is this set up here? Internet. Oh, interesting. So it looks like. It looks like that package. I'm not seeing it. All apps. Yeah, I'm not seeing it in my application list on the PC. So I think that is the server application, which we don't necessarily want running. I'm not hosting it on that system, so let's just go remove it. And we'll just whack it that way. Let's take a look at Mesh Central Support. Okay, so this is interesting. See if this is a good. I should look and see if Space Invader 1 has a video. He's got good stuff, but I'm just curious.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another IbraCorp video. Pleasure to have you back with us. Thank you for popping in and checking out our new video this week. It's been a very, very busy week here at IbraCorp. As you know, we've got our 2 bundles of joy to look after. But on top of that, we've had a very busy.
Uh-oh. What do you mean inactivity? I've been active. What do you mean inactive? That's really weird. I just got a notification that I've been inactive. I just had a whole live stream. Am I not flailing my hands enough? Apparently not. Oh boy. All right. Let's see. Let's just double check this
week
here.
In our Discord and our Reddit communities. It's been really, really good to see everybody jumping in and having a good conversation about things and bringing knowledge that they want to share with the rest of the community. It's becoming a very inclusive community and different people from different walks of life coming in to share their experience. If you're looking to kill some time, you want to see how other people set up their builds, or you want to share how you set up your build, or basically want to learn anything, share anything you want, pop in and see us. Enjoy your stay. we're here for the long term, so we've got developers in there too that are helping us out and helping the community. So it's been a really, really good community to see grow. And we welcome you to join if you're interested. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to install and set up Mesh Central, which is a remote access application and allows you to access your machines via your web browser. So a much easier way to do remote access and look up the details of your systems that way. I'll be showing you how to install it on Unraid, and we're going to go through the steps using our documentation that our team has set up for us, and it's very easy to read. And you got
Okay, so very interesting point. He said that you installed or you access via web browser, so there's no client. Reminds me a little bit about Guacamole, right? Guacamole is clientless as well. Mesh Central is clientless, so you point your browser to the device that you want. It routes it through, like it'll be routing through my lovely server back there to connect to my devices. I'll have to register them all. Let's see what that does for us here.
follow the written guide.
We'll probably be pausing and stuff a lot because I'm going to be tinkering and trying to set this up as he does it.
Remote desktop, remote access application to manage all your machines, whether they're virtual or physical, this might be the tool for you. If you're interested, hang in and let's get stuck into it.
That was a really long intro, by the way. That was a minute and 50 seconds for an intro for a YouTube video.
As you can see, it's compatible with a whole bunch of different things that you can make sure that it works for you. And it's not just for machines. You can also use it for managing databases and managing, certificates or anything like that, especially using Docker. So it's been really, really helpful to have running on your server so that you can access things remotely. Now, if you haven't watched our video from last week about Tailscale, I will reiterate that, guys, you really should check it out, because a few of the things that I didn't cover and I learned after the fact included being able to access your entire subnet and setting the local IP address. So you don't even have to use the Tailscale IPs. You can just set it with your local subnet and access everything as if exactly you were at home.
So that's an interesting point too. So I do have Tailscale set up. It probably needs some updating. We'll get around to that. But that would make this absolutely amazing. So if we take a look here, my system.nix, and in the remote section, you can see I have Tailscale client installed. So I could make all of my endpoint devices or just the Unraid server part of my Tailnet, and I should be able to log in using my fancy URL / whatever I need to point to each of those devices. Or I'm sure he'll go through the details, but yeah, I think that's going to be interesting to see how that works. So, but I do have Tailscale set up on most of my devices, so I think that should be good. I also have Cloudflare D running, so I could use Cloudflare tunnels as well. I would like to. He does have Cloudflare in here, so that's perfect. I'm very excited to see how he goes about this. So.
Which a lot of people really wanted, so it can do that. Now, in addition to this, if we can get something like this set up, this will help us even more, because we can then access machines remotely entirely in a nice, easy-to-use interface.
So this brings up an interesting point also. If this can be done using Tailscale, it might be a way that if you set up friends and family PCs, put them on your Tailnet. You authenticate, into Tailscale with your credentials, or you set them up as a user. You could do a self-host like Headscale, where you're not limited to the 3 users, stuff like that. But you could set that up so that their devices are registered as part of your Tailnet, and then if they need help, they turn it on, and then you can access their machine as needed, and then they turn it off when they don't need it. Very simple. It still is like a TeamViewer client thing they got to turn on and off. But then you just easily have their devices registered in your console, which is interesting. You could do the same thing for a business. You know, set up the clients. I think there's going to be something a little different about how the business side of things works for getting clients set up. But this is mainly for me, so that when I'm out and about, I have a go bag over here. It's got 2 laptops in it. It's got a crappy old ARM-based Chromebook, and then it's got another Chromebook in there, but I wiped Chrome OS off of it. It's running Nix OS. So I've got 2 laptops, part of my go bag, high, you know, high battery life. Can plug it into my car if I need it, but basically, if I'm out and about and all of a sudden I need to access a home device, I want to be able to do it through a browser very easily. I can transfer files, whatever it is I need to do. I feel like this is going to be the solution. So let's
So
dig
on their
deeper.
website, we've got management features and we've got security features. So here's their management features here. So we can use remote desktop and terminal, real-time UI. You can monitor the power state and control the machines. Port forwarding, support multiple OSs. You've got remote file access, server file storage. You can even record your sessions, monitor the activity logs, and have multiple people working on the same setup. So that's its management features. And so here's some of its security features. So you can set 2-factor authentication. You've got your HTTP content security, so for your headers. You've got Let's Encrypt support, strong cryptography, IP address token binding, reverse proxy support, and a bunch of other stuff that I think is really, really nice and comes pre-packaged, ready to go as part of the product. So it's very security conscious, which obviously you really want when you're going to be accessing stuff remotely, including some of your more sensitive machines. Awesome.
Yeah, so this is a great thing too. Being that it's self-hosted, things like that. Not that you couldn't use it for nefarious purposes, but it's a lot less likely, I would say. Scammers and hackers and criminals out there, they tend to use TeamViewer or GoToAssist or various other types of remote software that then they turn your screen black and they wreak havoc. I actually have a friend that suffered one of these, and it's not fun to try and recover from. We'll put it that way. It's not fun. We spent a couple months going back and forth between various institutions trying to sort of repair as much of the damage as possible. And this person is elderly, so they are the most vulnerable. They will get hoodwinked faster than you can shake a stick. So something like this, where they know it's me because it's very unique. I think that might be
So
something
quickly
too.
touch on the main page here. So the Mesh Central page has some great videos, and they do some great walkthroughs of all the individual components of the application.
I'm excited
And
to get
they do a
this
great
up
job
and
at it. So
running.
big
I just
props
want to
to
do
them
it
for that.
right.
If you're interested, go check out their channel, Mesh Central here, and give them a subscribe, give them a like on their videos if you like what they're doing. It's a really cool app, so I want to help support.
I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this, but when you're watching a YouTube video, whether it's a live stream or a regular video, if somebody says subscribe, the actual subscribe button turns red on the screen. So they're actively monitoring for those keywords that you're saying. I just think that that's interesting.
Support the developers here and give them the props they deserve. All I'm going to be showing you today is how to get this working, installed, and ready to go on your Unraid server. I'll also show you
Installed,
how to
working,
set up
ready to go.
Ophelia,
3 words I love.
protect it, and obviously have Ophelia sitting in front of it if you so choose. So with that all said, we can now follow our Mesh Central documentation that we've.
So that's an interesting other point that was made also. He's going to use Ophelia. That's an authentication mechanism. I don't know how it works. I'm not familiar with it. It's something I definitely want to look into. But having an additional layer of authentication and security for your console, especially if you're going to be exposing it to the web, yes, it's going to be inside of a Tailscale tunnel or a Cloudflare tunnel, something like that, which is all fine and good. But you never know what when the plumbing can sometimes get leaky. Side channel leakage, stuff like that, metadata leakage, you just don't know. So any additional authentication, two-factor, pass keys, whatever you can throw at it, probably for the best.
It's created, and this is to help you get it going on Unraid. I'll be following this off screen, but again, the link will be in the description, so you can follow along with us if you like. We have some assumptions, so you will need the community apps, which we have a video on that. As you see, it's linked here as well. That you're running Nginx Proxy Manager, also linked here. That you have SSL certificates within Nginx Proxy Manager, and you use...
Okay, so there's a lot of more work. So this is the part that I was kind of afraid of. So I have, let me go back here to my dashboard. I have some of these things set up. I feel like if you're using Cloudflare tunnels or Tailscale, you don't need Nginx Proxy Manager set up. I have successfully remoted into my home machines from abroad, from outside my network, using strictly Cloudflare tunnels. Now, there's another video I need to watch to set up to apply to that to get to the containers. I could get to the interface, but once I launch a container, no worko. Tailscale, so both Tailscale and Cloudflare. I think Cloudflare put me more closely as if I was natively on my home network. Tailscale is a little bit more finicky because it routes directly to the device, but if that you go off of that device in any way, shape, or form, even if it's a containerized or virtualized environment, not going to work. So I got my Cloudflare tunnel here working. I'm not going to log into that on screen here. I don't have the privacy stuff set up so that other things are not exposed currently. But yeah, I feel like there's some things that are prerequisites that don't need to be. Maybe it's the easiest for somebody who doesn't have these other items set up. So I'm just throwing that out there, but we'll see how this goes.
As your DNS provider. Optional is if you have Ophelia and you want to use that to cover what we're doing today.
Okay, so I do have Cloudflare as my DNS provider. I got Cloudflare tunnels, so it's another way to get into my home network from remote. So
as I said, it has built-in security features which are pretty good already, but if you have Ophelia running and you want to protect this with it, then we'll show you how to do that at the end. Alright guys, so here we are on our main server, Osiris here, and now what we're going to do is head to the App Store. Go over to Apps, you type in Mesh Central, and we get Mesh Central up here, as we can see. Click to install, and we're going to get a bunch of stuff here that we can go through and configure. So the first thing...
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot to configure. I don't think I need this up right now. There's no client to install, so we'll just cover that up. We'll make this bigger for ease of use. See, the one thing... Oh, am I not signed into YouTube? That's really weird. Oh, that's really weird. Okay, my bad. Anyways, the one thing, so this is something where I really like features of Microsoft Edge, because what I would probably do here is collapse the tabs, and then I would have the video in one screen, and then my server config in another screen. So yeah, All right. So let's just continue here. We might be doing a lot of flipping back and forth.
Our existing custom Docker network. Now, if you don't know how to do that, in the terminal, open up the terminal, Docker network, create, and name of network, and that's done. So in here,
I don't have any custom Docker networks. I haven't felt the need to do so. As I get different setups going on different machines, maybe that will change. And I don't even know if I'm going to stick with Unraid. I have another project going based upon another YouTube video that I saw, trying to do infrastructure as code using Nix, but that's a whole different ball game. So let's take a look here. So we got no central. Let's go to install. All right. So network type. Yeah, we're not doing a custom. We're just going to leave that on the bridge network. We're not going to turn Tailscale on for it yet, so let's just see what he's got going on here. Let's go back to the video.
Our default port that's set for the container is 8086. Now, if that's not taken on your server, you can just leave it. If it is, remember to change that there.
I should probably validate that. 8086. Only one. Yep. So, because it tells me, so if I go down here, and you can see the other. Oh, 8686. Okay, 8096. So, yeah, I'm pretty good on the ports there. That's interesting. But yeah, all right. So we're good there. Let's go back to the video.
The host name will be the host name which you want to access it from. So for us, we're going to make that our main domain here. So I'm going to say mesh.ibracorp.io. Now keep in mind, this is something you're going to have to set.
So that's interesting. So let's take a look. How do I have it set up now? mydomain.com. Okay. So I am going to need to check my Cloudflare. Give me one moment. Because that is also my domain provider as well. Okay, so login. We'll use my pass key. I know you guys can't see this. I got it off screen, so bear with me here. Let's go to Zero Trust and tunnels. Networks. Okay, here we go. Connectors. Oh, okay. So it's checking in. So do I have that connected to a domain? Give me one sec. So. I don't think I have. I'm dumb. Let's see what it does here. Hostname and routes. Oh, add hostname route. Ah, okay. So there's the application routes. Okay. So if I add, that'll work. So this will be do remote.paymenttechnologies.net. Whoops. Path. Service is going to be HTTPS. Colon. 8086. Can I not put a port in there? That's a DNS record. Yeah, it's been a while. I forgot how to do this, so I might have to come back to that. It did not like. Hang on a second. If I go back. Oh, is it because I don't? Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, none of those. They should be operational right away, and I know you can't see it. Try not to expose sensitive information. So, but yeah, I will probably have to set up the domain later. But for now, let's take a look, and we'll just set this to. remote.behaviortechnologies.net. All right, let's see where they go from here.
And the later steps on our DNS provider, which is going to be Cloudflare. So for the reverse proxy field, this is where we need to tell the app where to look for the edge certificate when hitting our domain. So sometimes people will use Let's Encrypt, and that's where you would point this to your reverse proxy IP. So if you currently don't have anything that lives on your root domain, you can use the subdomain which is using the certificate. So you can put in your Nginx Proxy Manager external URL, for example. For me, I have a main website that lives on ibracorp.io, so that'll be valid, and I'll put that in there instead as our reverse proxy. So using our Cloudflare, we'll just leave that as 443 combined with our.
So I'm not using Nginx Proxy Manager, but he said you could put the root domain in there. I wonder if I could just, I wonder if I could just put in. Yeah, it's not really going to be behind a reverse proxy. I don't think I need to do that. We'll let that go for now.
Iframe, we're going to leave that as false, and allow new accounts, we're also going to leave that as false. So what that means is it prevents people from signing up. So be very careful with that. By default, it's already false, but if anything...
That was not false on mine, was it? Let's double check. Was it false? Allow new accounts. Yeah, so that's false. For this, I don't want self-service creation. If I implement this via business, yes, because then I can say to clients, I can say, hey, go to my site, sign up, and once you're signed up and registered, I can then access, by doing this, you're consenting to me remotely accessing your device. So that's what we want to do here. Okay, so we're good.
Changes in the future, just be mindful of that setting. So what it means is people can't come in, create an account, and then access everything that you've got, which is really important.
Oh, it's the reverse. Yeah, I don't want people accessing my stuff.
Change any of these other settings either. So we're happy with all this pretty much now as it is. So So we'll go ahead and click apply. Now while that's installing, what we're going to do is show you how to set up your Nginx Proxy Manager so that we can come back to this once it's done. So here we are, Nginx Proxy Manager. Go ahead to Proxy Hosts, and we're going to add a proxy host. In the domain name, we're going to put in the domain that we said that we would assign earlier. So in our case, mesh, people call dot.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it as mesh instead of remote because I might want remote for something else. So over here. I had this working at one point. I just don't remember what I did. Let's go back to my other. So that one, this one I don't need it. So I don't need. Is that working? Let's see if that's working. It is working. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So once I get that set up, it will go to the correct 100. And is that using HTTPS? It is. Perfect. Okay. I see. This is why I don't know if I need. Okay. So add publish application rule. Actually, let me go back here. Sorry, I am kind of doing this on the fly, but I'm very curious to see how I have this set up. Edit. Oh, that is HTTP there locally, but it's being routed through HTTPS. So if I go, oh yeah, okay, we're good, we're good. Give me 1 second. So, not much I need to do there. 1 second. So let me add this application. And then we'll set. Could change that to HTTPS, I guess. Okay, so I can save that. Let me just double check here. 8086. Okay, it's set to false, so it's not going to use the reverse proxy port since reverse proxy IP is set to false. So that should be good. Okay, so okay, so let's save this. Okay, it is going to be going HTTPS. It is going 443, so yeah, we'll save that. Okay, so let's apply and see what happens. This might work out better than I thought. I will be so happy. Well, that's done that. We'll go back to watch the video.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think I'm going to do this.
Forward host name or IP, you can use the host name or the container name if you're using the custom Docker network as I have shown you. So as you can see, all my other ones, I haven't gone back and updated yet. I will do that in due time before anyone lets me know. But in our case, we can just put Mesh Central because that's the name that we have for the container. And the forward port is 443. Now by default, Mesh Central uses HTTPS, so we're also going to change the scheme to HTTPS.
That's what I did here.
But keep in mind, because we are using the container host name, we can then actually use the container's internal port, which is 443, rather than the one that is in the container template, which maps to the host 8086. So in that case, we've got Mesh Central 443. Now, if you didn't want to use custom Docker network, or you wanted to use a different method, you could put the server IP address where you've just created the container, followed by the port 8086, which we set up in the template.
And that's what I did using Cloudflare tunnels. So
these two off,
a little
if you
different.
don't want caching assets that could cause issues later, then head over to SSL. So we're going to select our SSL certificate. We're going to force it on, make sure all this is checked. Only do this if you have followed our Cloudflare video on how to set this up and have a Cloudflare certificate loaded into your Nginx proxy.
So we'll test this. So bear with me. I am curious. I don't think I want to do it this way, but we'll see.
Manager. The reason why I always recommend this, guys, is because if you're using Let's Encrypt, it expires within a few months, I believe, which is just annoying. You get a Cloudflare certificate, it's going to secure you from end to end, and it lasts up to 15 years. Saves me a lot of time, that's for sure. So once you're happy with all that, you can go ahead and click save. I'll just reiterate one last time, these last two options should only be checked if you have enabled HSTS on your Cloudflare account. If you haven't, leave those off. So now we're done here, we can head to Cloudflare. So we're signed into our Cloudflare account, all we have to do is click add record, and we're going to create a CNAME. And it's going to match what we set in the template that we want it to be. So the name is
so he's not using Cloudflare tunnels.
Put an @ symbol there.
That's okay.
The main domain, the root domain.
That's why he's doing the proxy.
So then it would be mesh.ubicorp.io. Go ahead and click save, and that's done. In this case, we are going to be using it proxied, so make sure you've got the orange cloud. So now that that's done, we should be able to hit that domain. So let's try.
Okay, so let's take a look back here. I think we got this. Command finish successfully. Done. I'm going to test it over here first. Let's do... Okay, so I am getting a host error. Let me just double check. Host name route. Okay, let me check. DNS. Let me just double check the DNS settings. DNS records. Okay, I got. Okay, mesh is in here and it's proxied. Wonder. Okay, so let's double check first, and that might be part of it. So let's go back to my dashboard. Make sure it's turned on. I wonder if it should be turned on. Let it load here. So I should have Mesh Central. Oh, that's why. So let's actually let's go into the Docker settings, and we're gonna set this to turn on when the system is on. So Mesh Central down here, and we're gonna turn this to on. Yep. All right. So now we'll go back, and we'll wait for that to load, and then we'll turn it on. Start. Hey, look at that. Okay, so now that's working. So now we should be able to access it. So let's just eat a tab here. We'll do a new tab. We're still getting a host error. Okay. Let's take a look, see what's going on. Can we access the web UI? That'll be test number 1. And that would be why. So let's go in and double check those settings. We will have to stop it to edit the settings. Oh. Stop. Well, that's weird. It won't let me stop it. Oh, okay, there we go. It stopped. Okay, so now let's go ahead and edit. See, this reverse, I don't think we need a reverse proxy port. I'm determined to find another way to do this. Let's see here. We might. It says 1443. I can always just whack the container and start again, but let's see here. Let's remove the reverse proxy port. I don't need that in the setup. Okay. Let's have it reconfigure that container and see what we got. Okay, finished successfully. Let's fire it up. Okay. Oh, it started automatically. Okay. See if we can access the web UI. No. See, I should be able to access it locally. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see if there's any additional steps I'm missing.
Do that. So back in Nginx Proxy Manager, we're just going to click on mesh.ubercorp.io here, and sure enough, it takes us to our Mesh Central page. So you'll notice it does allow us to create an account. Now the reason for that is because we're the first user. So the first user will be considered an administrator. So I would highly recommend that if you're going to be following this video, immediately go to this page and set up your account before anyone else does. Click create account and create the account you want. So there's all our details. We'll go ahead and click create account, and there you go. That's now complete. So no one else will be able to create an account now because we have the setting in the template to false, which says people can't sign up. Now, if you're using Ophelia, I'm going to show you one extra step so that we can make sure we've got everything set up correctly. Now, we've already covered everything for Ophelia in a separate video, of course, and we've got the documentation on our docs website, docs.ubercorp.io. So if you need help with this, all that information is in there. So all we need to do is go to advanced, and we're going to paste our endpoint configuration in there. So this is all pre-configured, ready to go. We just put it in, and we make a change here and here to match the identifier of what it is we're protecting. Okay? Then go ahead and click save. So now we pretty much have Ophelia in front of it, but there's one extra step that we need to do. So here we have our Ophelia configuration.yml. So what we need to do is add a rule down here. So I'm going to jump into that now. As you can see, here's our rules. So for our rules, we've got some that allows a bypass to certain things, and then some that will require authentication. It's really important when you're reading these rules that it works from top to bottom. Okay, so if you put a rule right at the top that says block everything, doesn't matter what you put underneath, it's going to block everything.
So these operate like firewall
rules. You want to put in
Keep
an order
that in mind.
that allows you to filter things down, and then the final catch-all at the end is if it doesn't match anything you've put, just block it. So in our documentation, we already have the setup the config there ready for you. So you just have to basically copy it and paste it in here. Now I've already done it. As you can see, we've got mesh agents, mesh settings, agent control, and mesh relay. Right? If you don't have those, put those in. A little quick tip for you, this is a little bonus for you guys using all the R's. Having the API here as well will allow those apps to communicate through the API without being restricted by Authelia. Alright, quick little tip on FYI. So just there, you just add that in under resources. So once you've done that, we've got Authelia now protecting Mesh Central. So now that I've laid Authelia over the top, I'm going to refresh the page and we should be prompted to sign in. And there we are, we've been prompted to sign into Authelia, so we'll go ahead and click sign in. So now we've pretty much just added the extra layer of protection, which makes me feel good and hopefully makes you guys feel good.
That's it. See, so
that's...
I think it's odd that it does that. So you're logging into an authenticator, but then the authenticator logs you into the app? It's still only one factor of authentication. I would find it a little bit more useful if it did the authentication to the authenticator, then it loaded the authentication page to the service. So you try to go to the service, the Authelia says, nope, you need to authenticate with me first. Good. That's a valid identity. Now we'll send you to the page that you're trying to identify to. Now you can authenticate there. There's two factors of authentication there. This is still only one factor of authentication. In my opinion, it is not an additional layer of security. I don't care what it's blocking, what it's not blocking. It is not an additional layer of security.
The setup done, guys, right? That's all done. We've got Mesh Central, it's ready to go. So now you can pretty much start configuring all your apps or your systems, anything you want. So what we're going to do is add a Windows machine. First thing we do is create a device group. So I'm going to click here and give it a name, and I'll call it domain servers. And for this example, we're going to manage using a software agent. All right. We can put a description there. A group of our domain.
Okay, so it's not agentless, but I'm very curious as to about how the agents work. So hopefully we'll see that here. Windows, it's going to be easy.
Click
I'll have
OK.
to look up the Linux documentation.
Now we have a group, right? We can expand that and bring it down if we want. So the next thing we do is click add one, so we can add a device now. So what we've got the option here, we've got Windows, Linux, Apple, mobile device. We've got a Mesh Central Assistant, Windows uninstall, and Linux uninstall as well. So under Windows, we've got background interactive, background, or just interactive. All right, separate things. We're going to go ahead and click the Windows x64 and download. So what I'm actually going to do is run this on our main computer here instead of the server. Just to speed
It doesn't
things
like
up.
that.
We'll go ahead and click run anyway. And we get this prompt here. So go ahead and click install. It's going to ask us if we're sure. We're going to go ahead and click yes. Then it brings up this terminal and starts writing a bunch of stuff in there. And there you go. So our computer's now shown up in the devices list. You can now click the device and use multiple helpful tools such as RDP, terminal, file sharing, and much, much more. There's so many features of this application that I can't go through it all in this video, obviously. I really just want to show you guys how to get it in, get it installed, get it running, and get you on your way. Again, I recommend you check out the Mesh Central YouTube channel. They've done some great work there, and I want to give them the opportunity to show their product the way they like. There's so many features of it that deserve a lot of respect. So if you enjoyed this, guys, please remember to like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate your support.
Catch that? Red subscribe button lit up. Doesn't matter what context, I don't think. It's going to light up either way. So, so that's interesting. There's a few things. Yep. And I already know that my Unraid server has its own set of problems. I can't get Zen Orchestra running properly. Nextcloud has been just the absolute bane of my existence. I don't even think that I have it installed anymore. I do not, because it needs completely reconfigured from scratch. Now, I do have, we'll update it. I do have Nginx Proxy Manager installed. I don't think I have it set up, but we'll see. But yeah, I just don't, not update? Oh, there we go. So yeah, I don't have this. Ooh, server go whir. I don't think I have this set up. I do not have this set up, so, which is fine. I am not that concerned about it. I'm gonna stop that for now. There are so many other things that I would like to get working, but yeah. I just really wish that was doing what I told it to do, but it doesn't look like it wants to. Okay, 502. Let me edit. Let me just double check over here quick. Let's see. Go back to my Zero Trust network. And then we'll go to networks and then routes. Or no, connectors. Cloudflare tunnels. Let me try to edit this. This unit is running, right? Oh no, it stopped. Let's start it up. Why did it stop? That's weird. Okay, let's see what we can get. Yeah, I think there's something in the configuration there, which is fine. Let's take a look here. Just dive into it. Alright, so let's edit this. And bridge, host, container. It's not on a container network. Custom. See, I could put it on the host network, I guess. Let's see what that does. I have a feeling it just has to deal with how it tries to reach the host. Let me edit this again for HTTPS. Make sure that that's working. 86. Okay, it started. Let's just try and access. Oh, that's interesting. plain HTTP request is sent to an HTTPS port. Oh. That's... Okay. Well, how is this set up? So this one is working. Let's see what the settings are. We're not going to edit any settings, so I don't need to stop it. Oh, hang on, maybe I do need to stop. Oh. We'll stop it temporarily. Let's stop it. Yeah, so there isn't much here for this. I don't. So this works. It doesn't need to be privileged. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. Do I need this to be on the tunnel network? Hey, why not? Let's see what happens. that'll be fun. Oh. Oh, does not give me the option for web UI. Okay, yeah, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, it's not gonna work. So it's gotta be bridge, be custom BR0. Nope. We're gonna just do bridge. Um, Did I? I didn't fat finger that on this. No, that's 80. Okay, no, that's right. Oh, it wiped out the MongoDB stuff. Shit. Wonder if that's why. I can always start again, but I just think it's interesting. Now we get the web UI option. See, now it's trying to do HTTP request to an HTTPS port. That we weren't getting before. If we just go in to take a look, we're on the bridge network. Yeah, let's, what am I missing here? Alright, yeah, it's using that 1443. Okay, let's whack this container. Although technically, hang on, let's take a look here. Let's go back to the dashboard. I have. It's just not started. Let's start this. Oh, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I know what that is. I think I have that on its own network. I did, yeah. So let's go to, let's go to host, or no, bridge, web port 8050. I'll turn that off for now. Apply. Done. And let's see what we got going on here. Okay, started, web UI. Yeah, see, I think there's something else going on with my server. Oh wait, why is it trying to go to 8080? That's weird. That's not even what was configured. That says 8050. Let's see here. Yeah, it might be time to just kind of. Well, let's do 8080. Just, I know 8080 is common. Let's just let it go for now and see if it actually can make the connection. Go from there. Yeah. So something else is up. I don't think it's. Yeah. There's definitely some shenanigans going on there. We'll have to take a look at. But well, thanks. I think we're gonna call it a day here. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. I need to find some lunch. I've been on here for quite a while, and we'll have to do this again sometime. Be sure to follow all that good stuff, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff on any of the major platforms, and we'll look forward to doing this again soon. Thanks everybody, and take care.